Hi everyone, welcome to another Vinyasa yoga practice. I'm Brandy Oswald of Sauvage Wellness, and tonight we're going to be focusing on a soothing, more slow flow style than what I tend to teach. But if you hang out with me often, you know that strength-based flows are kind of the way I do things. So definitely if you're wanting even more of a slower flow or a softer, gentler experience, you can always take it down a notch even further. As with every class, do what feels good. I want you to modify, to add things in, take things out. You can do exactly what I'm teaching, or you can do something completely different. You could lay down and take a nap. I don't really care what you do. My only goals here are that you feel good and you have fun. And when you leave here, you be nice to other people. Those are my goals for yoga. So you don't have to stand on your head. You don't have to touch your toes. I'd like to think you have to feel good, but you don't. You can do whatever you got to do. But I hope that you feel good, and I hope that you be nice to other people. So we're going to get started. For anyone who has the playlist queued up, who's with me live, you can go ahead and press play on the first song. The first song is Still by Sienna Bose. I probably say her name wrong, but it's an amazing song if anyone wants to access it on Spotify. So I'm hitting play now. And I'll just have us come onto our mats when you're ready and take child's pose. Toes together, knees open. And as you come into child's pose, just sinking the hips in between the heels. Option for the knees wide open or closer together to round the spine. And taking a few nice deep breaths here. In through the nose. Maybe out through the mouth to release. And eventually taking the breath in through the nose, out through the nose, building that heat, building that fire. Feeling the breath as it fills up the belly, the ribs, the chest. The exhale as it softens. Really focusing here on making that connection to the ground beneath you, to the floor beneath you. Rather than simply noticing your body as it rests against the floor, notice the floor as it supports your body. With an inhale, we'll gently glide forward towards our tabletop, hands and knees. Knees come in beneath your hips, wrists beneath your shoulders, and start to find a little free-form movement. You could sway in circles or shift forward and back. Maybe coming right into your cat-cow flow with the spine. If you live in my body, your hip joints will crack a million times as you're trying to loosen up here. That's okay. And take a moment to close your eyes and just see where the movement, where the breath takes you, being exploratory as we open the practice. Part of grounding down or becoming more grounded in the moment is to become more aware of our needs. How our body needs to move. What we need to feel good. Really starting to embody our own body. Rather than living in the mind, shifting some focus into the body. If you haven't already, taking 2 to 3 rounds of cat and cow just to loosen the spine. We're going to inhale, lift tailbone, chest engage. Exhale, tuck the tailbone, tuck the chin, press shoulder blades to the sky. Inhale to rise back through. Exhale, round it out. Let's take one more big inhale. Take a moment to hold here. And then exhale, round it out. Inhale, come into your tabletop flat back. Option to tuck the toes if you'd like. Pressing into the palms, draw the shoulders down the back, and then give a little push like you're pushing the floor away from you. On an inhale, extend the right leg back behind you. Little tuck of your tailbone so the low back isn't pinched. And just holding here. Feel the muscles of the right leg engage, squeezing in towards the midline of your mat. Then seeing if you can get weight into the right hand and into the left knee and come up to your left fingertips. If this is working, or you've done this a million times before, you could sweep that left arm out in front, opposite arm, opposite leg. Finding that stability and strength in the body, squeezing in with that belly. Option to add on a flow, we'll exhale, draw knee and elbow together, nice and slow, emptying out the belly. And then inhale to open back up. Exhale to empty the belly. Inhale, open up. Taking this 3 more times with your own breath. Just flowing in rhythm with your breath as if the movements are swimming through space. Last one, wherever you are. Inhale when you extend. Exhale when you pull in. Inhale, we're going to extend one more time. This time, place your left hand back down. Keep your right leg lifted. You're going to spin your left foot back behind you. Right toes come to the mat, and your right arm peels up into a modified side plank. Option to extend the right arm diagonally overhead, a long side body stretch. When you next exhale, bring your right hand down, spin the left foot back in. We're coming into our tabletop shape. Around a cat and cow, or simply circling out the hips, a little bit of movement here to loosen up. And then when you're ready, coming back into tabletop, squeeze the belly in. And from here, inhale, extend your left leg. Working nice and slow to make sure we feel that stability, strength, and groundedness with each part of the movement. Little tuck of your tailbone if the low back is pinching. From here, weight comes into the left hand, right knee, lifting up to right fingertips and maybe sweeping the arm out in front. Beautiful, belly's pulling in. Option to add in that flow if you'd like. Exhale when you empty the belly, knee and elbow together. Inhale, extend. Exhale to empty. Really swimming those movements through space in alignment with your breath. 3 more. Last one, extend it long and exhale, draw it in. Inhale, extend back up. From here, right hand comes down, right foot spins behind us, left toes to the mat, and then we peel the left arm up, coming into our side plank variation. Holding here, extend that left arm diagonally, nice and long side body stretch. Beautiful. Every time I do this pose, my body's like, you don't do this pose enough. Exhale, bring that left hand back down. Right foot comes in, left knee to mat. This time, tuck your toes. Exhale, lift your hips for finding downward facing dog. Starting to pedal out your feet, walk those legs. Finding any movement you need as you wake up that first downward dog. Beautiful, getting some movement here. Anyone who's watching this on the recording, we're filming the day after Election Day in America, so we're like a little bit stressed out. And last night, the only yoga I did was I came to my mat in the biggest hooded sweatshirt you've ever seen. I disappeared into it completely. And I just did downward dog for like 10 minutes. And then I was like, okay, that was yoga. That was great. Done with the yoga. So don't worry, we're not going to do that right now. But downward dog made me think of how long I did downward dog yesterday. Inhale, bend your knees, look to your thumbs. Let's walk the feet up to the hands. Exhale to fold. Give it a little sway, gentle bend to the knees, side to side, swaying it out. Nice. We'll inhale to come back to center. Exhale here. Inhale, extend it, halfway lift. Exhale to forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Last one, inhale, halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come through that flat back, starting to sweep the arms. We'll lift up overhead, reaching really tall through the fingers. Shoulders can come up towards the ears. And then we'll exhale, draw the hands down in front of the heart, Anjali Mudra, prayer position. Let those shoulders sink down the back. Taking a nice big full breath here. Inhale, sweep the arms up overhead, really reach for the fingertips, big long movement. And then exhale, sweep the arms back down to the sides. Really getting that big sweeping motion, linking breath and movement. Inhale, sweep back up. Exhale, sweep back down. Feel the side body as it stretches with each inhale. One more time, big breath in. Big breath out. As you come down, leave your palms facing out, nice and wide here. Draw the shoulders down your back. Feel your belly pull in and up. We call that engagement Uddiyana Bandha. Really drive down through your fingertips. Feel the shoulders sinking, chest opening. And then draw the awareness down to your feet. Spread the toes really wide. Press down through all four corners of your feet, imagining it's like a rectangle. Feel the inner arches lifting. And as the inner arches lift, feel the legs activating, drawing it upward. Extending all the way up with that energy, up through the hips, up through the spine, out through the chest and the crown of the head. Feeling your strength and steadiness in this pose, in this moment. Big inhale here, big exhale. Feel that buzzing power emanating from the palms of the hands. Nice. Imagining you could take the love and joy and kindness and compassion in your heart and in your body, turning it into a ball of energy that surrounds you, that flows out through the palms of your hands, out through your chest, out through the crown of your head, sending it out into the world in this moment. Grounded here in love, compassion, joy. Moving towards sun salutes, we'll inhale, sweep the arms up overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, extend halfway. Exhale, plant your hands, step back. You've got a few options here. One is through that full plank push-up, chaturanga, elbows at the side body. Option 2, drop the knees. Drop the elbows in at the ribs, chest comes down, hips stay high. Or option 3, skip it all together. Inhale, we'll rise. Halfway is cobra, thighs and hips down, elbows in, or all the way, upward dog, chest lifted, maybe thighs lifted. And exhale, we'll meet downward facing dog. And we'll hold here 5 breaths. These last few songs on the playlist that we're listening to live are from the band Surfaces out of Texas. and I read their website, and the goal of their music is to help people feel more love and joy. And I felt like they made their songs just for me. But I decided to share them with everyone. They're so good. They make me feel like I'm living inside a rainbow. Next, inhale, bend your knees, look to your thumbs, step or float, feet to hands. Exhale to fold. Inhale, sweep those arms, lift it up. Exhale, Samasthiti, hands come down. You can even let the palms face out. Feel that power again. Stable and steady. Round two, we'll inhale, lift it up. And exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step it back. Your option for plank. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. It only took me like a decade of yoga to realize I was sinking my hips too far in upward dog and not lifting enough out of my chest. So if you want to see what I'm talking about, I was really sinking down with my hips, even though my thighs were lifted. Instead, I want to engage through my thighs, get the hips a little higher, and press the chest forward. Oh, changed everything. I don't know if you could see that, but it was the best. Also, my back doesn't bend, so it probably just looked like nothing. Next, inhale, look to the thumbs, step the feet to the hands. Exhale to fold. Inhale, rise it up. Exhale, Samasthiti, option for palms out again. Find that strength, that steadiness. You've got one more sun salute. Inhale when you're ready to rise. Exhale to fold. Just using sun salutation to link breath and movement together. Flowing with your own breath. Eventually we'll meet back downward dog. Beautiful. Listening into your breath. Whenever the mind feels distracted, using the breath to slow it down, to bringing it back to the only real moment, this one right here, right now. With an inhale, we're going to draw the right leg towards the sky for three-legged dog. You might step your left foot in a little bit if you'd like. Getting some length through the back side of that left leg. Option to bend your top knee if you'd like. Open that hip. And eventually we're going to exhale, draw that right knee forward between the elbows and step the foot down. Beautiful. Runner's lunge to start. Squeeze the legs in towards each other. Gazing out in front. Nice. We'll take a little twist here. Plant your left hand, inhale, swing your right arm up to the sky. And then exhale, right hand comes back down. We're squaring off here towards the front of our mat. And we're going to inhale, squeeze the belly, start to lift the chest off that front thigh. We'll find our crescent lunge. You can do whatever you want with your arms. We often see them straight up. I also like bent elbows, chest open. You could have hands on hips or fingers interlaced. Air punches. Get out the aggression, whatever you need. Make it happen. Beauteous. Adding a twist in here if you'd like, keeping the legs And from here, twisting from the torso, drawing the right arm behind you and the left arm forward. Right hip stays tucked under so it doesn't sneak way out. We're really twisting with the ribs as we find that rotated high lunge. Nice. You could stay here for longer if you want, but I sincerely don't love this pose, so I'm going to leave it, move it to warrior two. Swing those arms all the way around, ground your back heel, opening up warrior two on the right side. Nice. Me and rotated lunge are working on loving each other. We get there like every third time. Here you want equal weight in your feet, so you're not sending all that weight forward. You're really pressing back into the outer edge of your back foot. You can be at a slight angle with your heel dropping back a little further than the toes. Nice. Feeling the strength in your legs, letting the shoulders draw down the back, ribs and belly pulling in. Extend out through those fingers. Strong and steady. When the mind wanders or feels chaotic, coming back to the strength and the steadiness of the body can sometimes help us find that steadiness in the mind. We'll reverse this warrior. Inhale, right arm to the sky, left arm down the back leg. Right ribs are really lifting upwards rather than back bending. You're thinking about lifting your side body towards the sky. Beautiful. We'll inhale here. Exhale. Next, inhale, straighten your front leg. You can heel toe that foot in a little bit. We're going to take this to triangle. So what in here, and as I do, I take Ashtanga variation. So I come back with my front or with my back hip, rather than keeping my hips stacked. They come offset. My back hip comes way back to give more room to come down with my torso. Hand can come onto that right shin, and then from there, left arm up to the sky, rotating the ribs. Gaze can be up or down. Nice. Option if you like, balancing. You can tip your gaze down, bend your front knee, plant your front hand, and sweep this into your half moon. Half moon is front hand down, front foot down, back leg lifted, hips open rather than closed. Top arm can be up. I like to wrap it. The way I was taught to do half moon is have equal weight in the hand and foot that are on the floor, so they're both working. Nice. When you're ready to come down, you bend the standing leg, weight into your right hip, tap your left toes. I'm going to inhale, come all the way up and back, reverse your warrior again. Stretch out that side. And then exhale, windmill your hands, frame your front foot, stepping back, optional vinyasa, or taking it right into downward dog. Vinyasa is plank, up dog, down dog. For down dog, the way I was taught in Ashtanga is your feet are open about a ruler's distance, maybe even further. Hips are really high, and you're pressing weight down the backs of the legs rather than all the way down the arms. Next, inhale, right foot can come in, left leg extends to the sky, three-legged dog. Really lengthening the back of the right leg. Maybe exhale, bend the left knee, open the hip. And then with an exhale, when your left knee comes forward through the elbows as it comes up towards your chest, left foot plants down between the hands. Squaring off here in your runner's lunge, getting some stability. And when you're ready, rotating the lunge, right hand down, left arm to sky. Natalie, if it feels better, you can make a fist with that right hand so your fingers don't have to work as much and you can push off of it. Beauteous. Natalie's my friend who's hanging out while I record this class today. She's amazing. Beautiful. When you're ready, we're going to exhale, left hand down, square off again in that runner's lunge. Feel the strength in your leg, really squeeze them into the midline. And then from there, inhale, you can lift your belly up off the thigh. Arms can rise up, finding our high lunge. Staying with that strong, deep breath. Maybe bending the elbows, opening the chest. If you choose to open the chest, make sure your belly's pulling in. We don't want to hinder that low back stability. And then you can stay here or rotating this, keeping that left hip tucked under. The left ribs draw back, left arm follows, right arm extends out in front. Zero to a million breaths here, and we'll unwind all the way over to warrior two on the left side. Feeling strength in the legs, again, equal weight in both feet, pressing it through the outer edge of that back foot. Nice. Keeping your front knee either behind or just over top the ankle, but not in front. And then we'll reverse this warrior, wrapping that right arm around the back or down the back leg. We're going to inhale, lift the left arm. Lift the left ribs to the sky as you reach back with the left fingers. And then inhale, straightening the front leg. Alternate heel, toe the foot in a little bit, shorten your stance. From here, I like to slide the hips back behind me again as we come down into triangle. Left hand to the shin, right ribs to the sky, maybe right arm to the sky, maybe gaze to the sky. If you want that half moon, you can exhale, gaze down, option to wrap the top arm. Bend the front knee, plant the front hand, lift the back leg. Maybe working to get equal weight in the left hand and left foot. You can always use a block underneath your left hand or something elevated for support. You can always skip it all together, pretend it doesn't exist. Love that option. When you're ready to come down, you bend the standing leg, weight into that left hip. Coming down nice and slow with the weight in the left hip to tap the back toes. And grounding weight into that right foot will lift up. And reverse that warrior one more time. Big inhale. Exhale, windmill your hands, frame the front foot, step it back. Optional vinyasa again, we'll meet in downward dog. Finding downward dog, hold here, linking back up with your breath. Beautiful. One more time, we're going to inhale, rise that right leg up into the sky, three-legged dog. We're going to exhale, come through right knee up towards the chest and between the elbows. Beautiful. Then inhale, rise that leg back up. Exhale, cross the right knee over towards the left elbow. Inhale, rise that leg back up. Exhale, right knee forward towards the right elbow, cover and hold. And then this time, placing your shin down onto the mat, we're moving into pigeon. A few variations here. You can keep your right heel tucked way in towards your pelvis. This can take some tension out of the hip and the knee. You can hold right here. If this is not feeling like much of a stretch, you can work your shin out, flex foot so that the shin is almost parallel to the front of your mat. You can always place a block or blanket underneath it. And then you could stay lifted. Or you could fold over that front leg towards forearm. If this just doesn't work, another option is to lie down and to hook that right foot in front of that left thigh and to hug in here, a supine version. We'll take a bit of a longer hold here, really releasing in that right hip. We use the hips to stabilize our lunges, and now we'll let it stretch out a little bit. I'm running to deep water. And then inhale, we'll gently start to rise back up. Exhaling here. And from here, planting the hand. You can start to tuck the back toes, lift the back knee off the mat. Then maybe find a hover and hold of the front leg. You can lift up, hover that thigh in, feel the engagement in the belly, and then sweep it up and back to release in that three-legged dog. From three-legged dog, it'll probably feel good to bend your knee and open that hip up a little. If you have the space in all of our quarantine yoga, you could flip this over into wild thing. I have the space, but only on this one side. Planting the right foot on the mat, lifting the right arm, and pressing out through lifted hips. And then when you're ready, coming back around towards your playing super optional vinyasa or just meet us in downward dog. From downward dog, we'll inhale, take the left leg to the sky. We're going to exhale, bring that left knee forward between the elbows and up towards the chest. Inhale, extend that leg. Exhale, cross the knee over opposite elbow. Inhale, rise that leg. Exhale, knee to left elbow. And then when you're ready, placing the shin on the mat. Setting up for pigeon on the other side. Your front hip is drawing back as you ground down. Big inhale, choosing to stay lifted. Or if you'd like, you can walk out towards the forearms. My right side is like, we could live in pigeon. My left side's like, what's pigeon? If you're still listening into your breath, you're doing such a good job at not letting your talkative teacher distract you. Yoga champion. Next inhale, we'll start to lift it back up, planting the hands, tucking the back toes, lifting your back knee off the mat to start by engaging the leg. Then starting to rise your front leg, you might hover and hold, feel the belly. Then inhale, extend it, three-legged dog. If you have the space, you're welcome to bend the knee and flip it over into wild thing. Side two. Nice. Beautiful. When you're ready, coming back around, extremely optional vinyasa. Then we'll sink the knees, stretch it out, child's pose. Lengthening that spine, grounding back down towards the floor. Again, rather than simply resting on the floor, really noticing the floor as it pushes back towards you, supporting you in this moment. Noticing here in child's pose, if you can get breath all the way down the spine and expanding in the low back. Beautiful. Next, inhale, glide forward. You can keep the forearms down. You want the forearms, or the elbows, I'm sorry, behind the wrists. Slide your knees in, and then walk your legs out. So you're in a forearm plank just for a minute. Don't worry, this isn't what we're doing. Drop your knees to the mat and slither down. Coming into Sphinx pose, you're going to pull the chest forward with an inhale through the arms. Feel your belly pull in. Just open up that front body a little bit. If you want, you could look to one side and then the other, really slowly keeping that belly engaged. Right. Or you gently start to lower the chest between arms. Slide the hands back underneath the shoulders. If you want, you can even take them a little wide and tent your hands onto the fingertips. We're going to inhale here, lifting the chest off the floor. Squeeze the muscles of the legs, squeeze your low belly, protect your back, lifting your chest. And exhale, bring it down. Feel the shoulder blades engage. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, bring it down. Taking one more inhale, lift. Exhale, send it down. Pushing it back towards your tucked toes towards your heels. Rather than sinking right to child's pose, sit back onto your heels and lift up into a seated position with your toes tucked. This one can be a little intense, so feel free to untuck at any time. Beautiful. From here, we're going to open the arms nice and big, bend the elbows, and lift your chest. Feel the broadness in that front body. Really. Option to exhale, hands in front, crossing right arm over left. Maybe palms or fingers touch. Dropping the shoulders and lifting gently through the elbows. Opening into that upper back. Untucking those toes at any time. Then inhale when you open the arms back up. And then exhale when you cross the other way. Nice. In case you didn't notice, my toes are already untucked. I got nothing to prove. That should hurt sometimes. It's cold here in Vermont, and my feet have been in fuzzy socks for weeks now. They're not used to all this. Beautiful. Next inhale, open up. This time, exhale, you can dive out over those toes. Keeping the knees together here, untuck your toes. Find a little seed posture. Arms can come back behind us. Beautiful. You give a little rock side to side. I want to tell somebody. Next, inhale, arms come out in front. We'll gently slide through into a seated position. Beautiful. Legs can come out in front of us. We'll take a seated forward fold. I like to scoop my hips out first. Coming into stack pose, Dandasana to prep. We'll plant the hands, draw the shoulders back, lift your chest. So the spine is really tall when we start this forward fold. And then from here, on an exhale, diving the chest out over the legs. Hands can come to the shins, to the floor, or maybe they reach for the feet. What we really want to pay attention to is pulling our chest forward, keeping our hips up over the femurs, and then just letting the head be what drops down. A nice long hold here, stretching the legs, stretching that back. I'm gonna feel. Next inhale, we'll look to the toes. Exhale, walk it back up. Hands can come underneath the thighs, draw the legs in. Soles of the feet to the mat. You can scoot your hips towards your heels. Inhale, extend out the arms. And exhale, nice and slowly, using that belly, feeling a little bit of resistance as you lower onto the floor. When the head and the shoulders come down, let the knees come in, hugging them towards the chest. Giving yourself a nice big squeeze and rocking however you'd like here. Getting a release in your lower back. And if you're moving in circles, make sure to send it around in the other direction. Moving towards a happy baby, soles of the feet up, Grabbing outer edges of the feet, drawing the thighs towards the mat. And then exhale, release, drawing the knees together, shins parallel to the floor. And from here, letting the knees tip over to the right side for supine twist. Right hand can rest on top of the thighs. Left arm, left ribs draw closer to the floor. And then we'll inhale to center and exhale this over to the other side. We'll inhale back to center. Exhale to release the feet down into the floor. Taking a gentle bridge here, pressing into the soles of the feet, palms on the floor, pointing, fingertips pointing towards the heels. Gently rolling the hips up, pressing the hips to the sky, feeling the hip flexors, the front of the hips start to open up here. Pressing into the feet, squeezing in the thighs and the glutes. And then exhale, let it roll back down. And just taking that 2 more times with your own breath, feeling that tuck and tilt of the pelvis as you roll up and down. If you love full back bend or full wheel, you're welcome to plant your hands and lift everything up off the floor. And then as you finish, once again, you can draw the knees into your belly, release that low back. Sending the feet down to the floor. Option for any final movement, postures, or stretches you might need before Shavasana. And when you're ready, coming into your final resting pose, that Shavasana. Traditionally, we take Shavasana lying flat on our backs, but you can take any other shape that feels good. The intention here is to find something that allows you to release and to relax. Or you can soften and not need to be working at all. When you first arrive in Shavasana, reestablishing that connection with your breath, using breath as a tool to bring you deeper into the present moment. to allow you to be present in your body. We often talk about or hear about these days this notion of embodiment, of embodying an idea, a feeling. And oftentimes we forget to actually embody our bodies, to be here now, present, aware, awake, alive in our bodies, that pulsing vibration of life. as you close your practice, I want to leave us with a prayer from the book, The Four Agreements, a Toltec wisdom book. The prayer for freedom. Today, Creator of the universe, we ask that you come to us and share with us a strong communion of love. We know that your real name is love. That to have a communion with you means to share the same vibration, the same frequency that you are, because you are the only thing that exists in the universe. Today, help us to be like you are, to love life, to be life, to be love. Help us to love the way you love, with no conditions, no expectations, no obligations, without any judgment. Help us to love and accept ourselves without any judgment, because when we judge ourselves, we find ourselves guilty and we need to be punished. Help us to love everything you create unconditionally, especially other human beings, especially those who live around us, all our relatives and people whom we try so hard to love. Because when we reject them, we reject ourselves. And when we reject ourselves, we reject you. Help us to love others just the way they are, with no conditions. Help us to accept them the way they are, without judgment. Because if we judge them, we find them guilty, we blame them, and we have the need to punish them. Today, clean our hearts of any emotional poison that we have. Free our minds from any judgment so that we can live in complete peace and complete love. Today is a very special day. Today we open our hearts to love again so that we can tell each other, I love you, without any fear, and really mean it. Today we offer ourselves to you. Come to us. Use our voices. Use our eyes. Use our hands. And use our hearts to share ourselves in a communion of love with everyone. Today, Creator, help us to be just like you are. Thank you for everything that we receive this day, especially for the freedom to be who we really are. So taking a moment as you close your practice to center in a loving, peaceful, deeply compassionate energy. To recognize that we may be but one person, but the energy we fill ourselves up with is the energy we radiate out into the world around us. The energy we're infusing into each and every person we come across. Choosing to be a source of love, peace, and compassion to all of those who cross your path. You can choose to close your practice right where you are in Shavasana, or as you like, slowly making your way back to a seated position. As we come to seated, hands can draw together in front of the heart like a prayer. We call this Anjali Mudra. I'll chant the sound of Om one time as we close, and you're more than welcome to join in. It's a big exhale to empty out. An inhale to fill up. And we close our class here. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. It means peace, peace, peace. Thank you so much for practicing. Namaste. Awesome. For those watching online, I'm going to stop the recording and say bye to Natalie. Thank you so much for joining me. For folks who are listening to the recording, you can catch all the classes on the Sauvage Wellness YouTube along with meditations. And if you have questions or comments, you can always chat me on Instagram at Sauvage Wellness, and I'm happy to chat.